There we are. All right. Okay. So look, I will see you in about an hour. I have mentioned before that there are three possible pathways to meet your true spiritual nature. The path of knowledge is often fraught with indecision, and discrimination will be required to what is the true knowledge and what is the false knowledge. So this path appears to be quite difficult. The path of action will mean that there are many turns, many lifetimes in order to perfect the physical being and the application of whatever you do. But there is also the path of devotion, the path of love. Now, this is the simplest path. It is the most direct path. It can also be the quickest path. But unless you understand how to bring devotion or love into everything you do, then your actions will be wasted. So any action that you perform without the sense of devotion or the sense of love is pointless. It leads you no further. You are doing no more than, let us say, driving a car, and that is all. And this will not take you to a true version of your spiritual self. So rather than having action which is devoid of any devotion, there are techniques that you can use. So performing action with the sense of love in your heart means then every action is full of devotion. Devotion, or the word devotion, is often thought of that you must be praying and chanting and renunciating all of the physical world to somehow find that spiritual self in a cave or locked away in some jungle in some distant part of the world. But rather than going anywhere else, you can bring all of that devotion into your physical life by having the sense of love and the dedication towards the spiritual self. The act of renunciation, some people say, is surrendering all things and living somewhere with little or nothing, stepping away from the world and becoming a recluse. Maybe all you would own is just the one or two pieces of clothing and nothing more. But the true renunciation is not surrendering where you live, but it is an internal work. Surrendering the sense of self, surrendering what is good for one to accept whatever it is that is present in your life. The only thing in essence that needs to be surrendered is the individuality, the ego, the sense of I, me, or mine. And if you lost that sense of everything being mine, then what is left is ours. It is unified. It is for the benefit of others and the benefit of self. There was a man who had a son, and the son studied long and hard at scripture and decided the path of renunciation was for him. So he told his father and said, "Father, I am now following the path of renunciation." And his father said, "Well, that is lovely, my son. And the son sat at home and refused to work or take part in any household duties, saying, I am a renunciant. And after a little while, the son realized he had not found peace yet, and realized must be something else he must do. So he surrendered the house and went to live in the jungle. And after a little time, the father goes to visit the son. And the son says, I have not found peace yet. I must surrender some more. So I will now give up food and I will not eat. And the father accepted his actions and went away. After a month, the father returned back to see his son. And the son said, I have not eaten for 1 month, yet I have not found peace. It must be the body that I must give up. And that tomorrow I will build a fire and throw myself on it. And then I will find peace. What do you think, Father? And the father said, finally, you have asked me a question. But if you kill yourself and sacrifice your body on the fire, you will go to the other world and only gain another body and have to live once more. As soon as you go from one world to another, you will gain a body because of the desires to be at peace. And that peace will bring you back into the physical incarnation once more. So your path, your chosen path, is not the correct one. And the son said, what should I do then, Father? I have surrendered everything and given all things away. I own nothing. I do not wish to have a body, and yet I cannot find peace. And the father said, all you need to give up is the sense of being separate. It is often thought that if you carry pain and problems and difficulties, that you must grab your machete and battle your way through them like battling through a jungle. And you can certainly do that. But I assure you, one pain will lead to a further pain, and then a further and a further. Rather, give up the pain. Do not concentrate on it anymore. Give up the one who suffers the pain. After all, where is this pain if it is not in the physical world, the ego body? Step to the side of the ego body. Surrender what is good for one for what is good for all. And place your attention on what is whole and complete in your life, rather than what is broken in your life. And in discovering what is universal, what is one with all things, what does not appear, that very thing that is not born and will not die, that part of your existence that carries for eternity, your true self, rather than the broken self. The true self is one with all others, is one without second. It is complete, it is whole, it is everywhere, yet in the physical world appears to be nowhere to be found. So in a moment, when I request the healing list, for those people on the list, and those people who are listening outside of this talk, for the balance of the time, let yourself be whole for the remainder of this talk. Concentrate on what is true. Concentrate on the joined, the unity, the oneness, the love, the peace, the contentment. The healing list may only take a short period of time, so I am not asking you to do too much. If all you can do is sit in peace for the seconds it takes, and if you can sit longer for the balance of the hour, please do. If you would like to take that peace deep into your life, then let your action be imbued by peace, not by the broken self. So, Brandon, may I have the healing list of names now, please?
Pia, Kat, Craig, Amanda, Devin, Jerry, Guy and Helen, Graham and Wendy Beck, Tony and Teresa, Cynthia, Patricia, Yvonne, Maddie, Chantel, Mary, Joy, Katie, Lena and TJ, Jody, Christina, Rose Frazier, Howard, Teresa, Mike Eskins, Samantha, Liz and Carolyn, Diane Smith, Keyshawn, Tracy, Eric, Stephen, Matthew, Marianne, Jody, Jill, Katie, Mitch, and Stephanie. Thank you.
The choices that you have in your life often seem so complex, so difficult, that you cannot pick between one way or another. And should you pick one way, is that the correct way, or is that the way that would lead to more drama and difficulty? Or should you pick the other way, which you do not know what that path will deliver for you? Should you stay still, or should you go backwards? But you must make a decision on which way you should go in your life. What is true for you? What is the right way? And often it is very difficult to pick this way. Often each way appears either blocked or cloudy or misty and seems to be fraught with problems, and there is no easy solution. So then you seek guidance, either internal or from a friend, or maybe you ask spirit for clarity on which way you should go. And you hope that the answer will come from them, will be your way. And often, to be sure, you may ask more than one person in order to get the right answer. But all too frequently, one says left and another says right. And you do not know what to do. You may sit with peace and love and sit and wait. And in waiting, you sit and wait for clarification, saying, I will get a sign. I will just know. And you may undertake some ritual. You may follow the strongest energy or which one senses to be the right way. But there are many people, if they walked one way, would say, I should have gone the other. And some will follow that path with the pain of regret, thinking they have always picked the wrong way. But how do you know? How can you possibly know that one way is better than another? How can you know that if you'd have won one way and maybe acquired great riches, is that better than another way where you did not acquire the rich? How can you tell? And what if one way led to great torture and pain, led to life falling apart as you know it? Maybe the loss of what you have held dear. Is that the wrong way? Life is often fraught with this type of decision. And those of a certain personality would always second guess and say, there must have been another option that is better. And yet, within all of this, whether you know it or you do not know it, there is a guiding force that takes you along the path that is right for you. Even if that path means that there is dramas and battles that you must face. And that is the correct path for you. You may face these dramas and battles once and then grow beyond measure. You may lose what was once important and gain yourself. You may strip away the falseness of what was to reveal the clarity of what is. You may lose what you thought was your love, only to realize that the love is still within you. You may damage, you may change, and you may do anything you can possibly think of to the physical body. But the spirit self always remains true. What you pass, when you pass from this world, you will go to my world with only the things which you can carry in your heart. So why wouldn't you stock up on anything that you can take with you as you leave 80 years and step into eternity? Why try to build what you will have to leave behind? Why not be the true and best expression of yourself? Why not allow the love of all things beyond the world into the physical world, knowing you will gain your riches in heaven, and you will build a life of eternity according to where you should be. You step into my world and do not take a step forward or even a step backwards in your development. You step to the place that you left behind in the physical world. The process of death is not an end, but a change. You have had greater changes in your life already, yet this one appears to be the biggest change. There is no such thing as a broken soul. The soul may attempt to experience what brokenness is all about, but it can never be broken. The soul attempts to acquire things and experiences externally. But the truth is, it possesses all that it needs, and it must simply surrender in order to realize the depth of beauty and quality it has on the inside. You can experience your soul by experiencing the peace and joy and love that is around you. And anything that enriches the life by these pure qualities enriches the soul just the same. And the soul will continue its journey life after life after life. And it watches each birth take place. It watches the trials of that life until that life ends and then another begins. And the soul looks under every corner, under every rock, in every corner, seeking the answer that it already possesses. And all the soul must do is let go of its individuality to experience the true home of nothing and everything. The qualities of the soul can be touched upon in the physical world. You have a witness of these in terms of your imaginations and your intuition and your gut feelings, your creativity that comes from somewhere deep inside you. But also you can touch on the feelings of spirit by witnessing those experiences that are whole and complete unto themselves, not made of one circumstance or another, but are available to all people at all times, in all situations, on all paths, no matter how traumatic or how grand that path may be. So if you are on the most difficult path, or you're on a path and just experience difficulty now, there is always love available to you. The love is surrounding. You cannot see it in your physical world because your eyes are not adjusted to this vibration. Rather, you can see the presence of love. And you can see the joy of love. You can see how love makes one feel wonderful. And the absence or belief in the absence of love makes one curl up into a ball, into a corner. Yet that pain that is experienced is no more than a thought. The difficulties that are faced are no more than a thought. The choices that have been made, which went well or went badly, are no more than a thought. And it is these thoughts that hides the truth that exists in the purity. It is these thoughts that keep you bound to a physical life and will ensure another physical life. It is these thoughts which become eventually your actions, which will deliver to you your karma. It is these thoughts of requesting a better life that will give you desire, which will then ensure another life. It is the thoughts of judgment and error which give separation to other people and to beings. The thoughts give blockages to the truth. And the truth is always available to all beings. So how do I access this? How do I dip my toe into the universal love? How do I let myself be bathed in an unconditionality? How do I feel the peace beyond all understanding? How do I know my God? And if God is in all things, in all places, why is it so difficult to find God? And yet the great mystics and poets and those great masters say God is available, God is here and now, God is closer than your breath. You look for your God in the desires of the experience. You look for God in your external world. You look for your God in the eyes of someone that will make me whole. You look for your God in riches or fame and fortune. And at best you may achieve a pale shadow. And that God always seems elusive. Yet if you change the words and you see your God in the other person, not in their external self, but you see your God deep in the essence. You see the fame and fortune that comes your way, but you only see God if you give that fame and fortune back to God and say, thank you. I do this as an expression of you. You find your God in other things if you walk with love in your heart. You'll find your God in strange corners and strange places. And then, right on the tip of your nose, if there is truly love in your heart, that love is the God you seek. That love fixes all things that are broken. That if mistreated will break even the strongest stone. So let love be in your being. Let it be there. Let it be felt. And then let it be seen through your gestures and action. And not only will it be seen, but others will come to that love. Those which truly have love in their heart will never feel alone. Those that have love in their heart have no desire, as love is complete and wants nothing more. Those that have love in their heart will keep going through all adversity. Those that have love in their heart sit on the right-hand side of God. You'll find your Creator as you walk through those pearly gates. Or you'll find your Creator as you live your life. You'll find your Creator as you go down the wrong road. And you'll find the Creator far easier on the path of devotion. Because it is love that pulls you to Him. And it is love that pulls Him to you. There is nothing missing in your life when love is in your heart. So there is no desire. When love is in your heart, it burns away karma. So with no desire and no karma, you have the choice of birth or not. And you would say, or you would think, the one in this state would not pick birth. But one in this state often chooses birth once more. But not for their gain, not for their achievement of anything, but comes into the perfect world that it now sees and thinks to itself, the world is perfect, but it can always be a little more perfect if I add more love. So that love then becomes a trail for others to follow, as others are drawn toward the love of one who is on the path. And they too create their own trail that others follow on the path of love. Many do not know why they follow that path of love, but they do. Because without logic, it just feels like the right way to go. Because love offers nothing, asks nothing of you. It becomes the simplest and easiest path to follow. So by having love in your heart with all action, not only is this for your growth and connection to spirit, but you lay down the trail that those with fear and pain can follow. Those in need can take from. Those without can gain. And those who feel like they lack can be given all that they truly need. So you do not follow the path of love for yourself. You blaze the trail for others. And you let them travel far behind as you are traveling behind an unknown leader or guide. As love has no form, it has no limitation. It is not broken. It is not damaged. It just lays itself down and lets others take as much as it wants from it. So the path of love is the path of true spiritual connection. If you connect to spirit, you connect to love. If you have spirit in your life, you have love in your life. If you have love in your life, you have spirit in your life. And as the love builds, the connection to the spirit family is increased. The karma dissolved, the desires are no more. And the ascension to the hand of God is assured. And all of this, as grand as it may seem, is having love in the actions that you perform. Not just within a temple or a church, but having love when you write on a piece of paper. Having love when you give money for the product you buy. And the person who serves you gains a sniff of the essence of love in the air. And it is love that is the true spirit body that heals all, but when mistreated may take life away. So the path of beauty is the path of love. So let yourself be in love for no reason. And when you have a decision on your path, let love be in your heart. And know you lay a trail for others. Come into your completeness, not your broken. You do not need to try to attract anyone, as love will do this for you. Love, indeed, is all that you need. God bless you. everybody's okay. We enjoyed that. Thank you. I will see you next week. Take care.